everyone. Welcome to the Journaling, where we inspire and empower you to experience more joy in your daily life. My name is Julia, and I'm here with my co-host Brian. Hi, Brian.
Hey, how's it going? Fantastic. For me, hopefully for you as well.
Yes, I'm doing well. And I'm so excited. I think I'm always excited for when we're recording, but today I'm extra excited because we are talking about one of my favorite topics ever, and we're talking about habits.
Yeah. These are all of the invisible things that we're doing behind the scenes that really run our lives. And so we've got some really nice key points here about how to add more joy into your life through controlling our habits. So those 4 points are our habits and understanding their impact on our life, the habit loop, immediate versus ultimate habits and goals, and then how to make actual, lasting, sustainable changes in our lives. And then we've got a real great task in there too, which is, going to add a lot of clarity to our lives. So let's just get to it because I love this as well.
Just to say, like, this really changed my life when I learned that we are basically going on autopilot 50% of the time. So this
is that much?
It's around 50%. And believe, because that's for our brain to not get overwhelmed. Like, we simplify, we compound habits just to make it. So, for example, remember first time when you learned how to drive a car, you were like, okay, keys this. And now you sometimes put the key in and then you are like already at work, right? Or you are already on your destination without even
autopilot, right?
Autopilot. So basically, this is what habits are. They are keep you on autopilot, and habits have enormous impact on your life. And then what you can say that your outcomes in life are lagging measures of your habit. So for example, if you think that you are, let's say, okay, not think, because that's the fact. Like, if you are in the bad shape, it's a result of your poor health and fitness habit. If you are broke, it's the result of your poor money habit. If you are in unhappy marriage or relationship, it's due to poor relationship habits. That's it. But also, if you are, it's two sides of the coin. If you are extremely healthy, it's related to your good health habits. And if you are wealthy, it's related to your good money habits. It's all about it. And if you are productive during the day or majority of the days, it's related to your good working habit.
Right. Yeah. These are the invisible drivers that make everything in our lives possible. And so we want to make sure that we're making conscious choices around them and not running on autopilot for 50% of the day.
You will be still running on autopilot no matter what, but it's up to you when you design that.
Right.
You cannot process that amount of information, because just imagine if for a day you would be starting like, okay, now I'm recording, I'm looking at the camera, I'm talking to the microphone that is in front of me, and on the side there are notes. Like,
right,
you would go banana, because that like you are doing the same thing as the very first time every single day. And I think it's good to have this beginner mind for learning, but at the same time, if you will do everything throughout the day with this mindset, I'm so sorry, but it will be pretty exhausting at the end.
Yeah. So then a great answer would be to have amazing habits running on autopilot.
Yeah. And what is interesting about habits, that they are such a small, tiny pieces of action that it's impossible for them to transform your life overnight. But in the long term, they will make such a big difference. So if you will replace like eating snacks with eating healthy, you can see few months how different as it makes. And the same, instead of like overspending, and you will make savings and investing, it will also have a big impact over time. But it's never immediate.
Right. Yeah, these things take time, and they also compound over time. So you won't really see the detrimental or the positive effects in the short term, maybe, yet over time, it will really become clear what you've been up to.
Exactly. And what I like to think about it, and that's kind of what anchors me in the present, that every action you take, it's like a vote for the person that you want to become. So, for example, it's quite clear when you look in this long term. For example, if, I have my own business. So if I will wake up and do nothing, what I'm choosing, am I getting closer to the person that I want to be or not? Or like I'm a runner, and if I'm skipping my running training, am I voting for running this race in amazing pace and becoming like this really good runner that I want to be? Or am I voting for someone who is slacking off? And like everything is a vote. So that's important, that like when you catch yourself doing something that you know deep down that you shouldn't be doing, just ask yourself, like, is it something that I'm actually wanting to do? Make it your habit, part of your identity.
Right. And knowing that there's obstacles and challenges along the way that can get into your way every single day. There can be a whiny voice in your head that never goes away. And it would be funny to expect it to, right? And so all we have to do is not entertain the whiny voice that says, no, maybe not today. Maybe you can just lay in bed for another 20, 30 minutes and do the right.
You're doing it narrative to my voice in my head.
No, I know it well. Yeah, just I don't entertain it, right? Because I remember that choice in the moment. Like I can give in to the easy way, right? But in the long term, I'm going to be less healthy or happy or financially secure, all that stuff. So I choose for the harder way sometimes, right? To get up and do the thing, even though I don't feel like it, right? And then I am cementing in that choice again. Yes, this is who I am. And I get up and I meditate and then I do yoga and a bunch of other stuff in the morning, and it's to get my energy up, right? And so that is just something that I do.
Yeah, so repeating the same behavior is they're reinforcing the neural paths in your brain. And that's
exactly. And those neural pathways can also have very big negative habits as well. And those can be really hard to break.
Exactly. So basically, how does the habit is formed? So first of all, there is a cue. There is something that happens. So for example, you are hungry. And then there is a routine, for example, like eating something. But here with this routine, you can have pizza or you can have healthy salad with proteins. And then there is a reward. You are not hungry anymore. Your stomach is full. You are content with life, moving on.
Right.
But the thing is that's the brain what it remembers, that the cue equals reward. And then they associate the routine, which is eating pizza, with the reward. And therefore, next time when you will be hungry, get that cue, you will be craving pizza, not the salad.
Really?
That's pretty much how the habit loops works. That the more you do something, the more you crave to do that. So, that's how you get stuck in the loop. So, yeah, this is pretty easy. And why bad habits are so tempting, because here is the aspect of this immediate reward versus the ultimate reward. So there is one sneaky thing about bad habits, that they usually immediately they feel amazing. They taste good. They feel good. It's just, it's a dream. But here's the catch: in the ultimate reward, those are sneaky like bastards, because you don't gain much from it. Like, yeah, you gain weight, but like overall in life picture, you don't get anything. Like they
can take you down.
They can take you down. And with a good habit is the exact opposite. So when you form the good habits, the immediate reward, it's not so great. Just think about your first week at the gym. It sucks. Like,
difficult.
Right? First week of starting to eat healthy, not so great. Or when you start doing something, like remember our first episodes of the Joyling, I wasn't so great about it, right? But that's what makes it the ultimate reward, that the good habits are delaying time. So if we'll keep showing up, hopefully we'll keep reaching more and more people. And you can help us with that by leaving a reward review for the podcast. That would be awesome. Thank you. So
that is our reward. Thank you very much. Yeah.
That's a reward. Thank you. Delay in time. So basically, you can look at it this way. The cost of your good habits is in the present, but the cost of your bad habits is in the future.
That is the truth. Yeah, those bad habits can take you down over time when they look great in the moment, but they can be quite detrimental. So I want to bring awareness around those.
But there is hope, guys.
Yeah, you bet there is. Yeah, and that's also why they're so hard to break when it comes to bad habits, because they can get really ingrained. And then we don't think about doing the good thing. We only want to do the thing that feels good in the moment. That's not that great for us. So there is an equation around habits that can really break this down in a very simple way so we can understand them when they come up. And we can get out of that subconscious autopilot and really step into the awareness of, okay, do I want to be doing this or not? Right? Does this serve me or not? And so B.J. Fogg, in his book, Tiny Habits, gives us a habit equation, and that's B equals MAP, right? So its behavior is a function of our motivation, ability, and prompt. He tells us that a behavior happens when these three elements of MAP, motivation, ability, and prompt, come together at the same time. And motivation is our desire to do the behavior. Ability is our capacity to do the behavior, and the prompt is our cue to do it. So that is how we can create habits that we want. We need to have a prompt in front of us. So if, let's say, you want to be a runner, well, it's time to sit the shoes out. Like as soon as you wake up and you put your feet on the ground, there are your running shoes sitting there. Ooh, the first prompt, right? Oh, I got to put these on and go running.
It's also, I just want to mention, something came up to my mind that it's always the good habits, like that it requires work. Like the bad habits will take care of themselves. Like they will just show up in your life once you start like slacking off a bit. Like it's always the good habits that you don't even have to worry about bad habits, because I guarantee you they're just magically showing up by themselves. Like they are just so it's just about good habits. Like you don't need to work hard on creating good and bad habits. Not at all.
Right.
Yeah. So we're
right. It's the building up of the good habits that need the time and attention and the energy. Right. So by creating a bit of an ability around that as well, right? So it's our capacity. So let's say I want to be a runner and I see my shoes at the side of my bed. Okay, well, I can step over them and say, oh, not today. Or you can pick them up, take them downstairs and put them on and go outside. And then I start to get into the actual ability of the new habit. So what the habit gurus around the world really say is that we want to make them too small to fail. And that's from a book called Mini Habits by Stephen Geis. And when we make them too small to fail, they can look absolutely ridiculous, right? So he is recommending, if we want to be the runner, we put on our shoes and we go outside the door, and then that's it. Right? We congratulate ourselves right there and say, great job for being a runner. And then we can go back inside. And then the next day, we put on our shoes, we walk outside, and then we walk to the end of the sidewalk or the driveway, right? And then we congratulate ourselves right there. Great job. And then we can walk back inside. And so already we are creating that neural pathway that says, I am a runner. And you're starting small. And you're compounding over time, and you're building over time. And you're also making it too small to fail, so that when you actually do that, you're going to have all these neural pathways that are really connected to that reward system. And it's letting go of all those really great chemicals in the mind that's connected with that activity that you want to have in your life, right? That good habit. So every time you think about it, you'll have good feelings around it, and then you'll want to do it. And then over time, you can make your runs longer and longer and longer after a week, maybe you run around the block a couple times, and then, right, it's building up over time. And I had the idea, like, I just want to do 100 push-ups a day. So the answer was make it ridiculously small and too small to fail, but just do one. And then tomorrow I'll do two. The funny part is when something's in motion, it's going to stay in motion. So I found myself...
Physics, I think by Einstein said it. You know, the body in motion stays in motion.
Right. And the body at rest will stay at rest. Thank you, Einstein. And so I found myself doing one push-up, and then while I'm doing it, well, then I just did 10. And I'm like, oh, okay, right? Because when you're in motion, you'll stay in motion, right? The hardest part of a new habit is starting it. So you make it too small to fail, and then you can build it.
The same concept that James Clear is sharing in Atomic Habits. Just a side note, there are plenty of books about habits because of that, such a fundamental aspect of pretty much everything what you do, because you can take any area of your life and look at the habit, and then you will see the outcome that you have. So, right. So basically in the book of Atomic Habit is like how to make any changes, right? So first, what you were talking about is putting the shoes out. It's the environmental change, because sometimes that is more than enough to remove those cues from your surroundings. So, for example,
bad habits.
As issues with binge watching TV, you can hide your remote. Or if you have issues with scrolling social media, I suffer on that one. You can remove the app from your phone, but I struggle with this concept. I need to find a different solution. And then there is this second part, which you were also talking about, like making it really small. So it's 2-minute rule, which is like scaling habits down to make them as easy as possible. And then if you can, by how you can check it, if it's as easy as possible, is because you can check if like, is it possible that I will stick to this habit for 98% of the time, no matter of what are the conditions? If the answer is no, then the habit is to start smaller. And this is what is important, because it's about creating the entry point. And it's all about mastering the entry point, because the habit, it's not the end goal. It's like the entry point to get it's a little bit like this decisive moment. So for example, when you wake up, what do? Do you pick up those shoes or do you pick up your phone? And then, and the consequences of this little decisive moment, they are great. So for example, if in the afternoon, I will choose to watch something versus go for a training. Like I can see how how my afternoon will develop differently.
Right.
And it's the same with pretty much anything. So it's not like the habit, it's like this chain reaction. There are many decisive habits during the day that you have, that they are like a chain reaction. So for example, one decisive habit for me is like what time I wake up. Because if I wake up later, I don't have enough time in the morning to do the things that I want to do. So if I hit the snooze or go back to bed, it's the decisive moment for first part of my day. And it sucks because it's my choice. And it's definitely not the greatest choices that I make sometimes. But yeah, it's the awareness of it that makes me annoyed. Because if I wouldn't be annoyed of it, I wouldn't care. If I wouldn't be aware of it, I wouldn't care. But because I know what are the consequences, and I always like make it more dramatic than it is. Like, what's the point? Like, if I cannot have life as I love it, what's the point? Because I see it, how is it developing in the long term? Like the way how, like your day is, your life, it's reflection of your day. So if you don't enjoy your days, then you don't enjoy your freaking life. So that's a big deal.
Yeah, and getting really honest with yourself around what are these really great habits that are building me up and serving me well, and being very honest and truthful with yourself about those habits that are just not giving you the return that you really want in your life, and knowing that you can change them. That is one of the biggest things. And nothing is too great to change. You can, and it's never too late to change as well. So all these habits are built around hope, right? There's hope that you can change for the better anything and everything in your life. All you have to do is first believe that you can change and then really get on to doing the work. Because there's no getting around that. You've got to do the work to change anything in your life for the better.
For the people that they say that people never change, I think they know nothing about habits.
Yeah, it's incredibly false, and we got to stop listening to those people. Yeah, just read those 3 books that we recommended. It was Tiny Habits, Mini Habits, and Julia said Atomic Habits.
Atomic Habits. And there is also one book that I also love. It's The Power of Habit. If you read those 4, you will be an expert.
Yeah, there's some overlap between them, yet the combination of all of them is a really, really
powerful tool. It's good for them to reinforce that neural pathways. I mean, it's good. Like repetition is good. That's what is record. That's what helps memory. And if you remember, then you can actually study. And then if you read books, then you will start so many conversations about the habit.
Right.
But I think that takes us to the task of the week.
Yes. So we are looking at defining what those keystone habits are in our life that serve us really well on both performance, energy, work, love, everything. What are those keystone habits that we do that allow us to perform well? And you can make a list of 3 or 5. And then we want to make the opposite list as well. And these are the kryptonite habits. These are the ones that just break us down and just ruin any potential for doing well or having what we want in our life. Make a list of both of those and then focus on one of the keystone habits and begin building on it. And then one of the kryptonite habits, we want to focus on deleting that and making it less and less and less over time. Because really, when we take a look at the kryptonites in our life, and for me, maybe it's watching movies late at night, that can take me well into the night. And so by simply doing that less, I will get better sleep, and then I can start my morning better, right? So just changing one of those habits can make a really dramatic impact on your life, right? And so one tip on how to do that, let's say it's around food.
They have it. The entire episode was about it.
Around food. Yes, you can buy your discipline and your willpower at the store, right? So just by not having all the different foods that are good for you in the house, that'll support you in having a better habit with your...
That's the entry point. Nail your entry point habit. That it's not about eating healthy majority of the time, but there is a key habit that leads to that. Probably you being at the store, or same with the gym and all of that. But you have it all there. And if you need more, look at the show notes, and we will also share some resources over there. So that's it for today, guys. I hope you are making a habit to listen to the Darling every week. If yes, we're very grateful for it. And if you could leave us a review, that would be amazing. It helps to other platforms to promote us in the rankings, that we offer something of value to others. So if you could do that for us, thank you so much. And yeah, we will be back next week. So have a great afternoon and look into your habits.
Yep. All right. Thanks so much. See you in the next one. Enjoy.